Kickboxing up next, coming out first, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 158 pounds with a current record of 0-0. Doing it for UCTC, make some noise for Rundong's son.
All right, coming out to the cage right now, we've got Rundong's son. This young man is 26 years old, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighed in at 158 pounds on the dot. He has an amateur record, or a kickboxing record of 0-0, so what do we know?
One of those O's has got to go.
All right, he came in, he is ready to fight. He came rushing straight out to the cage and didn't get the last minute inspection from the athletic commission. So he just needs to take a couple paces outside of the cage real quick, take off the shirt and let him in before once the commission says everything's good, he gets to go inside. They're not doing any Vaseline or anything on him right now, so he gets to come in a little bit faster. They're not waiting for that. And he definitely looks like he's ready to go. What do we know about where he's training?
All right, so he's over at UCTC. They've got a pretty good team over there, but we are going to get back to that. We're taking it to Dave up in the cage.
All right, and his opponents are going to be fighting out of the black corner, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 157 pounds, sporting a matching record of 0-0. Doing it for One Hit MMA. Let's hear it for Skyler McBride.
We got Skyler McBride. He's 28 years old and weighed in at 157 pounds. He's training over there at One Hit MMA. What do we know about those guys?
Well, One Hit MMA, they've been around the game for a while now. They're one of the staples here on SteelFist Fight Night. In fact, the same gym that the main event is one of the main event fighters is fighting out of. They've got Aldo Arasia as the head coach over there with the Arasia striking system. They've got a lot of other guys. Mark Gonzalez in his corner, the Kung Fu Panda coming out. And this is, again, his kickboxing premiere, his debut, just like Rundong's son. So I'm excited to see how these guys match up. Both of them are at primarily striking gyms, so they do match up well that way on paper, so I'm excited to see how this looks tonight. Now, this is a kickboxing match. These are 2-minute rounds. It is very similar to the fight we saw last, except no elbows. You can throw some knees, you can throw kicks, you can throw punches, and you notice that they are wearing pads on the shins. The reason for that, under the rules for amateur, if one opponent says they want to wear shin pads, both opponents have to wear shin pads.
All right, these guys are
Rundong is throwing those strikes.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good inside boxing there, and he's lighting him up with all these...
Very aggressive striking by Rundong's son.
Just keeps on. Oh, good head pressure. He gets a little bit
kind
of
of went for a headlock.
There, yeah.
That's not the same as a clinch. Now, with it being kickboxing, you can clinch, but it's only going to be a few seconds. Ooh, nice push kick.
Oh.
It's a great teep by Rundong.
Oh, that was a great body kick. And he's getting back into that boxing range. And Skyler McBride is able to circle out.
That son has a lot of forward aggression. He was coming in really good and throwing a lot of strikes, whether they were landing or not. He was throwing them pretty continuously.
Skyler was answering right back.
Ooh.
I mean, when he was Skyler was low, ripping to the body, and Rundong Song was up high and thrown to the head.
I think it seems like this might be what Skyler was waiting for a little bit, is for Rundong to slow down and for some of that aggression to kind of taper off a little bit and be able to pick his strikes and some counter punches a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely a viable strategy. That was
Ooh, but Rundong is still back at it, just punch after punch.
Finding some pretty good accuracy there along the cage. I haven't seen many jabs from either one of these guys setting up their strikes. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that out of either one of them.
Yeah, that would be great, but sometimes with that level of aggression, like what you've got out of Rundong, where he's pushing forward, makes those jabs a little bit hard to throw because there's no space.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that the pace has slowed down a little bit.
Nice right cross counter from Skyler McBride. So work to the body, but Rundong's doing a great job of staying active and landing some accurate shots on those. Like every, I'd say, fifth shot doesn't land, but everything else really did seem to land.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job of finding his strikes and dealing with Skyler's been doing pretty good about working the body during those engagements, which will be great to slow down the aggression coming out of Sun there.
Right, but it's not going to do anything to take away the damage that Sun's doing, and especially Sun is doing, especially on the judges' scorecards.
Absolutely. So what are you saying to Skyler McBride if you're his corners this round?
Punch first.
All right, yeah.
That's the biggest thing with Rundong Sun. He's throwing the first shot, and he's just continuing to throw one after the other with that. And they're not technical strikes. He's not doing beautiful technical strikes that you're, as a coach, going, man, that guy has been studying forever. He's throwing accurate strikes, and he's throwing effective strikes. I would like to see him maybe, like you said, set something up, maybe throw some more body movement into it and get the hooks. He's almost piping with just a right cross and then a left cross and then a right cross and a left cross instead of doing any twisting body movements.
Yeah, definitely for pretty good for scoring the cumulative damage. But, yeah, definitely for Skyler, be first, be last is something that my coach is always telling us. You want to set the pace and then finish out, especially after they break.
Yes, agreed. And one thing I got to give for Rundong as well is that he's accurate. Regardless of anything, his accuracy is
it's been
pretty exceptional, especially for a first-time fighter.
Absolutely. I mean, first-time fighters are getting better and better every single time they come out. So
couldn't agree more. It makes it fun being a commentator. I get to watch these guys come out for the first time and just do some damage, and then we get to watch them all evolve too, and that's what's beautiful about the sport in general, but two, my job here on the microphone is just watching the evolution of these guys.
It seems to be a pace that Skyler's a little more, I mean, not at this exact second, but the pace has slowed down a little bit, shows Skyler being a little bit more comfortable, but he's still not really being first. He's still kind of just waiting for those counter strikes.
A lot of what he's doing is counter punches or punching as he's getting hit. He's got the occasional like that. It's a great counter punch off of a leg kick. I mean, that in my opinion, is the #1 defense to leg kicks, is make them regret it. So throw that right cross, even if it hurts you. But because either way, you're going to get kicked in the leg, so make him regret doing it.
Sun's doing a good job with those leg kicks, though.
He really is. He's scoring points, too, being very effective. I would love to see Skyler throw some punches at this point, start being aggressive instead of camping out. And again, he might be waiting and biding his time for something that he thinks is going to land, but he's being a little bit too timid to turn this fight around.
Something I see a lot of out of counter strikers especially is they need to learn how to set up counters, I guess. So, draw a punch out of your opponent, draw a leg kick out of your opponent. Oh, they're pretty tired.
Well, I mean, they've been going solid for the last 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, these are only 2-minute rounds, but 2 minutes working non-stop for that full 2 minutes, especially for Sun. Rundong has been throwing so many freaking punches and kicks in this last 2 rounds that he's burning a lot of energy, and it does get really tiring coming into the 3rd round.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to train for the amount of fatigue you experience. It seems to happen like 3 times faster in the cage than anywhere else, especially coming off of a weight cut or all that other stuff that they got to go through.
And your first time coming into the cage, there is a ton of adrenaline that plays into it, and you get that adrenaline dump too. It's a different game. I'll tell you, I don't like standing for 4 minutes straight.
Yeah.
You start adding all the extra stuff that they're doing. It can be really tiring. People don't realize just how much it takes out of you. All right, we're going to see round number 3. This is the final round. And referee Tyler Tomlinson making sure everybody's ready to go. Once the cage is emptied out of all the seconds, they're going to get going. All right, here we go.
Round 3. Skyler seems to have a pretty good fan base. I mean, that's kind of all one-hit guys. They've always got a ton of guys behind them.
Well, what's crazy, because like I was saying before, one hit, they stack the card. They're out here all the time. Even if they're not here for Skyler and they're here for someone else that's on the card, there's a good chance that they're here for someone out of that gym, so they're going to cheer for everybody out of that gym.
All right, back to a pretty slow pace. But giving them time to set up their strikes, and pretty good kick counter there, but had good timing, but not necessarily the efficiency that I would have liked to see out of it there.
You see Skyler throwing that right cross off of that leg kick again. But Rundong is just going
right back to his pressure,
after it.
mixing up his strikes.
The accuracy has left when it comes to these strikes from Rundong, but the aggression has not.
Yes.
He is still throwing just as aggressively as he was in the first rounds.
And whether those punches are landing or not, you know, you throw 100 punches. If 3 of them land, that's 3 more than your opponent's landing if he's not throwing any back
Absolutely.
at you. So.
And it, you know, wears you out, but it also wears them out.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that was a good
nice leg kick by Skyler.
Now he's starting to check some back. I know in that second round he was attempting to check some kicks, but he was mostly picking straight up instead of, you got to kind of match the angle of that. And here goes Sun back with his aggression. Skyler's able to circle out with his
One
hands
thing
up.
I love with Rundong, what I'm seeing out of him, is when he does land that first shot, he just goes for glory every single time. He's not stopping at one. He just keeps throwing until he's either out of breath or Skyler moves out of the way.
Yeah. All right, finishing off.
Finishing
final
strong.
10 seconds here.
And that's it. This fight's over.
Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
fight for both
that was
these guys.
a hell of a fight. These guys beat the crap out of each other for the last 3 rounds. If I'm looking at it objectively, you know, from our seats here, we're not judges. We're not getting paid to judge. I definitely think that Rundong won that all 3 rounds. I think those were 10-9 rounds, all 3.
Yeah,
I don't think there was anything enough to make it a 10-8 round, but I think that he took all 3 rounds 10-9.
Skyler had shown good ability, good defense, good checks and counters, but we're going to make this official up in the cage.
I think he was a little too timid. Let's find out what the judges say.
Before you get to see these warriors come out here and leave it all in the cage. This one going to the judges. While we're doing that, I got a quick announcement. There is no wait staff at the Union Event Center tonight. You are on your own, so here's what I suggest. You make a little wager at your table each fight. Loser has to go get the beverages. But we got bars downstairs. We got them upstairs. You guys are on your own. We will get the answers to the quiz coming through the fence, and then I'll share them with you. All right, gentlemen, can I get both fighters to the center of the cage, please? And guys, you know what to do. Make some noise, please. Holy smokes. All right, here is your scores. Stephen Farragher with a score of 30-27. Dennis McMahon with a score of 30-27. Dan First with a score of, say it with me, 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision, out of the red corner, Rundong Sun!
All right, ready? All right, I'm here with your winner, Rundong Sun. Rundong, dude, that was an amazing fight. You just came in and threw punch after punch after punch. How are you feeling right now?
Tired.
I'll bet, man. I was tired watching it. Did anything happen in the fight that caught you off guard?
He threw a couple straight punches that kind of knocked me out a little bit. Yeah.
That happens. You didn't let anybody know. You hit it really well. Is there anyone you want to thank tonight?
I would like to thank my friends and my classmates at the gym, and most importantly, I want to thank Mario and Megan.
All right, man. I just want to know one thing. Are you going to come back and do this for us again?
I might.
You might? That's good enough, man. We can't wait to see you come back. Congratulations. Everyone give it up for your winner, Rundong Sun!